Welcome everyone to this October 3rd, 2018 version of the Real Life Trading daily or weekly stock review. My name is Brad Reed and I am a real life trader, and I would like to encourage you to be good. And by good, I mean get out of debt, achieve your financial dreams, and give generously to your community. What is going on, everyone? Hope you guys are all doing absolutely fantastic. Unfortunately, our leader, our loving leader, Jeremy Alexander Newsom, has had a very severe and sudden illness. He is on the recovery, but that means that I get to do a stock review today because no one's here to say no. So I'm going to record it and let's talk about what's going on in the market. SPY looks like it is going higher. A lot of the market indices are looking a little bit more bullish, but a lot of the really big companies may be looking a little bit more bearish. So overall, the real life traders are worried that that sort of divergence might mean some instabilities coming up. And really all that means is that we are tightening our stops, taking targets where we can. The good news is that earnings season is coming up. So that usually is a season where there are a lot of trades. So be sure you are saving your R's. And yeah, so we can place lots of trades when that happens. At any rate, on the SPY, I am more bullish than bearish. It is following a very nice little uptrend. Maybe we go up some more before we pull back. Maybe we pull back and then we go up. I would not also count out the possibility that we come down into the 20 or even the 50. But I think for the medium term and long term, I and many others here are more bullish than bearish on the SPY. The DIA has obviously taken off in a major kind of way. That's a pretty steep trend line. We did come in and we've made some all-time highs, broke across that, retested that. I do think that we come back into this zone somewhere later in the week and bounce. But again, a very minor move down. I'm still more bullish than bearish. Most of the trades that I've taken this week, actually all of the trades that I've taken this week have been in the bullish direction. The NASDAQ, very similar to the others, a nice steady uptrend, finding some resistance at these all-time highs, just resting a little bit. I am more bullish than bearish on just about all of these indices. The real surprise here was the IWM, but it looks like it has come down into a fairly strong support zone, and we are getting a very nice bounce here. So it'll be interesting to see if the IWM continues up, wiggles, and then goes higher, which is kind of what I think it would do. But there is always the chance it comes up here, wiggles, and comes back down. I'd be a little bit more surprised if it does that. Just talked with a real-life trader named Vito, who is a little bit new to us. So Vito, thanks for joining and welcome. About, hey, should we maybe place a swing trade on the VIX? And Vito and I have a plan that if the VIX gets down to about $10, we're going to buy a call. A short-term call, maybe 4 to 6 weeks out. And, oops, sorry, there's going to be some sort of test on my cell phone, which I had too close to the microphone. But if you look at the VIX over a long period of time, if it ever gets below 10, it doesn't stay there for very long. So the idea is you buy a 4 to 8 week call, and in that time period, you should have a chance where you can exit for a profit. Most of the times I've done this strategy, which has not been a lot, but I usually get about half an R to an R. I know Ricky did this strategy not too long ago. Ricky, when did you do it? Ricky traded this right here. Ricky Cadan out in Australia did that and just absolutely wrecked it. So great job, Ricky. Vito and I are going to try and do at least half as good as you if the VIX does come back in here. Not saying it will, don't know if it's going to, but if it does, that'll be our plan to buy a 4 to 8 week time period call on the VIX. I don't think I can do a real life trading stock review unless I talk about Apple, right? The Apple rocketing up to all-time highs again. Pretty extended from that 10 moving average. Probably going to retest that old resistance as new support. somewhere in this range. But I think that will be temporary and quick and might provide a buying opportunity for those of us like me that are not in Apple at the current moment. So if you are in Apple, consider when it starts to flatten out, do one of these. You might consider selling a covered call, maybe up in the 240 range. And if it does pull back, look for a buy opportunity. Be aware that earnings is coming up in about 4 weeks. So if you are selling options, be aware if you're selling it over earnings, and of course, follow your plan on that. A couple of stocks that I am watching closely. One is Red Hat. I'm looking to buy a put. If it does come up and retest this old support as new resistance, love the volume there. Love the volume yesterday. I think all of that says it is ready to go bearish. Earnings happened, so that's not a concern for it. I am more bearish than bullish on Red Hat and willing to risk an R on that trade. Carnival Cruise Line looks very interesting. Just had earnings. I'm not sure if I'm going to do this trade or not, or if I'm going to make it official, but the fact that we had a huge bounce here and we're putting in what is likely to be a bullish flag pattern, we get a nice reward risk up into that recent resistance, and we have been pretty steadily making higher lows. This downward trend line was nicely broken right in there. So I love the crossing there. I love the crossing there. We do get a nice reward to the first target and maybe on up. So that is one I'll be considering. Once again, trade your plan. And if it meets your plan, keep your eye on that. Skechers, ticker SKX. I probably won't be doing this one, but I know a couple of real life traders that might want to try and scalp this one. And again, the scalp is a real quick little trade. This looks like I'm looking at a 5-minute chart, right? And if I was trading a 5-minute chart, an entry there and a protective stop there to take it bearish would make a lot of sense. But this is not a 5-minute chart. It's actually a daily chart. So a breakdown of those two candles would be more bearish than bullish. A gorgeous support line here, about to get broken. Buyers here, 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 and here on Skechers are going to be trapped. If it breaks down, they will be losing money. It's also coming into earning season. And I know a lot of real life traders and other traders, when it's coming into earnings season, they tend to close out their positions. So we'll be watching for that and see if it does close out. And of course, as I say that, I see right here, people bought going into earnings and they got absolutely demolished when it gapped down on the last earnings. Maybe we'll see that at any rate. Trade your plan. I may have said that once or twice. I don't think I can say it enough, but earnings are coming up in just a couple of weeks. If it does go sideways and gap down on earnings, I'll be looking to trade it bearish. If it gaps up on earnings, I'll be looking to trade it bullish. That's my plan on Skechers. A few more. Electronic Arts, ticker EA. I'm looking for a bearish setup on this one to trade it from the top of the channel back down to the bottom. Once again, earnings coming up. So I wanted to do an option, an absolute zero option play on this. If you don't know what that is, swing over to reallifetrading.com and check out our free videos. But I am more bearish than bullish on Electronic Arts. I really wanted a bullish candle. So if I get a very small bullish candle in there, then I may see if I can scalp this for an R down to that first target, back down to that support. But we shall see. Keep your eye on Electronic Arts and Shake Shack. Earnings are coming up on this one. Earnings Whisper is where I come to check for earnings, and Shake Shack on November 1st. So, there it is right there. Don't know why I didn't see that before. I would be more bullish than bearish on Shake Shack if it's already broken out of that old resistance. Retesting it now as new support, you would get a very nice reward if it does make it into resistance before earnings. So if that meets with your plan, keep an eye on that. And that is it for me. Let's see. Bank of America. Earnings coming up too soon, so I'm going to leave that one alone. Folks, send your thoughts and prayers to Jeremy Newsom and his family. He is on the mend. He will be back with us soon. And as always, trade on logic, not on hope. You guys rock.